Project 7 for me is a key aspect of using a test-based process for experimentation, making up rules, sticking to those rules, experimenting, playing, and then creating images. And this points very well to learning outcome 02, experimentation and creativity using a process-based template. I will be looking at placing one or two of my images from these exercises into learning outcome 04, which is the creation of a portfolio body of work. Project 7, making up the rules, I think it's all about experiment and play, and often defining a set of rules or working towards a specific brief to gain a creative outcome. We got to choose from some case studies. I chose the Bath. Bath explores out of focus photography, purposely taking images out of focus, and I really enjoyed that because it's something completely different. It's something I'd never thought of before, and going out with your camera and exploring your town and your streets or any subject really, and doing it in a way where you purposely take images out of focus is quite freeing. So I took a set of images around my hometown. I called it Pontardawe Unfocused, I think, and I then got those set of images and I experimented with them, and I did a Thomas Ruff kind of compressed JPEG version, and I felt that those come out particularly well. I really liked the results of those. And then the next set I did was a kind of cyberpunk set based on the film Blade Runner 2077, that version. And I created a preset of my own, and I applied it to each of the images to see what worked and what didn't. And some of the images worked and some didn't, and I expected that. That wasn't something that was out of expectation. I didn't expect the whole set to be perfect. And then I created a half-tone set, kind of like a graphic design version, black and white. And again, I didn't expect every single image to come out perfect, and they didn't. But I did like the ones I chose, and you can see those as a triptych at the top of the post. And then, so the next part of the brief, I chose brief 2, which was pick a photographer, research a photographer, and then make some images. And I liked the fact that by trying to explore how a photographer took those images, I was able to then define a set of rules for myself, and then explore creating a kind of a homage image based on that photographer's work. And the last exercise I chose was the making 100 images of an object and repeating it 5 times. So that's 500 images in total. That was a little bit difficult because I didn't know what I wanted to photograph. So I took my inspiration from a Belgian photographer called Leonard Misson, 19th century into the early 20th century photographer who took a lot of cloudscape images. And as I looked at his images and I contemplated cloudscapes, I realized that clouds are in a constant state of flux, and just like my mind is in a constant state of flux, I think it represents the ever-changing mind. So a couple of major things that this project in particular has taught me is that sometimes it's best to just find a set of rules, or non-rules even, and then go out there and start shooting, because often we can procrastinate and get into a creative rut, and we just are bored of doing the same old. And I think there's a lesson to be learned from making up the rules, is that you can set yourself a few parameters and then just get out and explore what you can create through those parameters. So I think the lesson learned here really is to go out and experiment, get out of your comfort zone and try new things. And that's what I did, and I really enjoyed it.